In the previous episode of Samcraft, it was the grand introduction and the return of me to this channel. Today's video is all about continuing that momentum. Let's keep this ball downhill and something. Hey everybody, my name is Sam and welcome back to Samcraft. That's right, today we're going to continue working in the shop. We're going to continue working on setting up a laser station, an area that I can say, this is Engraver Town, this is my finishing stuff, and basically allow me to say, hey, I'm open for business again for the holiday season. I have a handful of scrap 2x3s that are left over from construction projects in our home and have made its way to the workshop because, well, that's where all wood goes to die or be used for something else. I'm going to go ahead and start using some of these to make a very simple, easy workbench. I'm going to mount it to the studs on my wall. Yes, my wall is not covered. In the future, when we get to covering it, this will be easy to remove and we'll do it then. The goal of today and the goal of this video is to get myself back up and operational. The first thing I want to do is realize that I have a set work height on most of the surfaces. Okay, in my old shop, I had a lot of set heights on work surfaces. The one that's carried over to this shop is my CNC table. So I'm going to make this new bench or work surface the same height as the CNC table. That just allows a lot more versatility and generally is a good thing to do in a workshop. I'll start off by attaching the 2x3s to the wall studs on the front wall and the side with some just basic 3-inch long screws, whatever I can find here in the shop. Once I have that done, I'll build the frame out from there and attach some legs, and then I can start scrounging up, finding some sheet goods to make a tabletop or workbench surface for everything to rest upon. One of the most fun things ever is to try and build something in your workshop when you don't have a surface to build it on. So this is fun. Can you tell the 2x3s are a little crooked? Dang. there we go. As you guys can see, it's a really easy way to build a workbench. It's one of my favorite methods as far as building something just using off-the-shelf lumber and building it in a way that is fast to construct, low material, but also easy to take down, disassemble, reclaim the parts, or move it and change it as you want to. It is a very forgiving design based that it's just a bunch of screws and a bunch of regular square cuts on your lumber, and it's just really simple. So as you see, I did decide to make it kind of two different sizes. I built the larger square, well, it's actually a rectangle, for the laser engraver to sit on. The reason it is deeper than wider is because that thing has a dust extraction port and tube out the back, and I need to give myself room to run that. And then this other rectangular workbench is designed for, hopefully, my drill press to come over, sit on top of, as well as my belt sanders and the various things that I use whenever I do laser engraving of wooden utensils or just in general as well. Speaking of those tools, I think it's time to grab them, drag them over here, and sit them on their new home. Yeah, let's do that. this is my extra box. That's full, and I've got these I can use. Do that. I thought about ending the video yesterday whenever I finished putting the tools on the new workbench. However, I really knew and wanted to add some shelving, so I decided, you know what, let's carry this over for a day, let's bring you guys along and let you see me build some shelves. This was not the idea I had in my mind. I went to the store, was looking for some shelf brackets, something affordable, but something that's also going to be strong and usable. I found these. These are, I think, more technically closet shelving brackets because they have the little hooks on the front for closet rods. But it works great as an impromptu paper towel holder, which is also going to be cool whenever I find my double-sided tape and masking tape, things I use for engraving or CNC work. Perfect to hang up here, and I also have room for more on these brackets over here as well. So I really like the corner shelf. This was also a wing it scenario. I had a large 4-foot square piece of plywood, and once I had the brackets put up, I was kind of thinking, what if I just put the plywood up there, marked it, and made one giant letter L for a shelf rather than two rectangle pieces, and then having to figure out how to strengthen the corner and make it strong. That worked out really well. In the end, I don't think I wasted any plywood. I mean, the same amount of square inch of wood was removed from the sheet I had. It was just a little bit weird and cumbersome to cut, but other than that, that's really cool. I like that. If I run into the same scenario in the future, I'll remember it and I'll probably do it again. It's a great way to make sure that corner is 100% as strong as every other part of the shelf and works. It just works. So the purpose for the shelves is to store my plastic totes, and inside the totes are wooden utensils. This one happens to be, I think it's called, technically called a wood turner. It's kind of an angled spatula. Of all the ones I have, this is the one that I personally like to use the best because, I don't know, it's just angled and works great for cooking. But I've got them all sorted by their style or their wood species into their own little totes. The totes are clear, so I'm able to easily see how many I do or don't have. But having lids on them, it keeps them clean, dust-free, and up there out of the way. The cooking utensils are the whole reason you see the belt sander, the oscillating sander, the drill press, and the bandsaw even in this area and being considered part of my laser station. If I didn't do wooden utensils, these 4 tools would not be needed here. Slate doesn't have any kind of extra tools you need to do anything. But with my wooden utensils, I choose to put a handmade feel to them. I don't advertise them as handmade. I'm not going to do that with people. But I do add some custom handmade type features and feels to them, plus also just improve the quality. When you get these from wherever you get them from, the quality is fine, but it is not my level of fine or good, ready to go. So that's the reason you see all the tools and the reason that I have, this is my laser station. My son was in here helping off and on today, my 7-year-old, and he actually came up with the idea for the paper towel holder. He also saw these laying around the workshop and said, why don't you do a shelf with these? I thought it was a great idea because that's exactly what I did. Down below the workbench, I put about 3 of these brackets into place, found another scrap piece of plywood, threw it on top, attached it with screws, and that's going to be a perfect place to store more of my utensil totes, things that are not very heavy, but they are larger and a little bit bulky. I want to keep them within easy reach, right here where I can see what I have, take inventory, if I need to, know what to buy, don't buy, and just more easily be able to see what exactly I have on hand to make and offer to sell. One of the most popular videos I put out on my channel was talking about the wooden utensils, how I take them from a store, how I value add them, personalize them, and turn around and sell them for customers. No doubt if you've seen that video, or if you haven't and you're here watching this one, you're probably wondering, Sam, where do you get your utensils from? That is by far the #1 question I get asked on that video, and probably a question I'll get asked in this one. I didn't say where I got my utensils from in that video because I wasn't really sure if that place that sold them was available to everyone. As it turns out, that place quit selling them not long after that video, so I'm glad that I never mentioned it. That being said, I do plan on having a video talking about the utensils and where I get them from, so that if you're in the US or you have access to US markets, you can check out these 3, 4, 5 different stores and maybe that'll work for you. It's very hit and miss on availability. I have yet to find a place that I can order them in wholesale. I've not really dug around, you know, Alibaba or AliExpress. I'm sure that's where they probably all come from. I've not dug into that level yet or at all, but I'm still searching out for US suppliers for wholesale utensils. I'm working on putting up my power strip. It is this giant 6-foot long outlet strip. I got it from a place I used to work. It's a wire mold brand, and I think they're pretty popular in commercial, well, okay, maybe old commercial uses. This used to power a bunch of power bricks for phones, so they tossed it, or I tossed it for them, and I've loved using it ever since. I'm going to mount it here on the wall, right behind my tools. It's going to be easy access to plug stuff into. It's going to be all plugged into this drop cord, which is run up, laying over top of the rafter ties or collar ties up on the roof, going over to the solar system and plugged into the wall over there. This is a down and dirty way for me to get power over here, and all of these things together, minus the CNC, probably wouldn't use 15 amps. This is a 12 gauge drop cord, commercial grade, so this is rated for, I believe, 20 amps at 12 gauge. I'm not going to be anywhere near using all this power. In order to mount this strip to the wall, I'm getting creative. I'm using some hose clamps, and I've opened them up. I'm going to screw them onto the studs and then put the bracket up and attach it that way. It's a down and dirty solution using the stuff I have here, what I found that'll work. I tried to get the cover off of this outlet strip and it doesn't come off. I don't know, I kind of beat it up a little bit trying to slide the cover off. Normally you can slide them off, mount it, and put it back together, but it's not working for me. Either way, got some pan head screws. I'm just going to put them in the first little slot in this hose clamp and then run that through, put it on the wall, and strap up the power and plug everything up. Perfect. There we go. I'll take that, just attach it to 3 wall studs here, and just about call it done. first time this guy's been turned on in a while. So I'll release my emergency stop and make sure nothing's obstructing. Looks good. Go ahead and turn it on. It should automatically start homing. Awesome. Well, I think that I'm ready to say oakley dokley, let's start burning some wood in a controlled fashion. I've got the laser set up, the tablet's reconnected to the new internet. It's currently downloading probably 1,000 Windows updates, but that's what it needs to do. Stay safe, stay internet safe. And then I've got my sanders hooked up, so great. I did turn on the little belt sander. Actually, I turned on all the sanders, but the little belt sander blasted me with sawdust. So I really need to get my dust collector over, or at least ready to rock and roll, to bring the hose over whenever I need to use the belt sanders. Dust collection is going to be a big thing, and it's very important, especially in a small shop, and especially in a shop with no windows and only the front door. In case you don't know what it is, because honestly I would not have known what it was until I got one, what is in the drill press is called a contour sander, or a sand mop. Not sanding, but sand mop. It is sold by Klingspor's Woodworking. I'll put a link to it down below. It's not an affiliate. I don't get any kickbacks. But that is what I was told by several viewers back when I did a video on making wooden utensils. They said, dude, get yourself a sand mop. You're going to love it. It's going to cut down your labor. It's going to improve your efficiencies and make sanding the contours of spoons, utensils, and pretty much anything very, very nice. So I have yet to use it. It is brand new, but I purchased it at the recommendation of several people who watch the channel, and I think it will work great. I really think it will. So awesome. Thanks for the suggestion, and I'm just passing along to you guys in case you're wondering, what is that? It's a sand mop. Go check it out. So even though this took me 3 days of work, I didn't work 3 8-hour shifts. I mean, come on, really. A few hours here and there. I do feel like I'm ready to go ahead and re-enable the wooden engravings and slate engraving options on our website and resume and wait for customer orders to start rolling in. So yeah, success. And now that the workshop work is done, I can also start coming up with some new creative designs as well. I want to expand the styles and the, I guess, graphical options that I can give to my customers. And so that means a lot of computer work, but that's okay. That's stuff you can do at night. It's things you can do when you don't feel like being in the shop. And it's really a huge part of having a laser engraver or a CNC. It's a lot of computer design work. Hopefully you guys enjoyed getting to see me build the laser station. Maybe my reasonings and thoughts give you some ideas. Maybe there's some things I've done that you're like, you know what, Sam? I think this would be good and helpful. Leave me a comment down below. I am very much an open book. This is a what you see is what you get channel and presentation style. So if you guys say something to me and it's a good idea, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I bought a tool just because some of you guys told me to buy a tool. Not that I need convincing of that usually, but I am excited. That came from you guys. So if you got any questions, comments, suggestions, things to help me or others, leave them for me down below. Otherwise, if you got any ideas for things you want to see coming from the shop, also let me know. I'm getting in the shop, trying to clean up and do stuff, but I want to make sure I'm providing content that you might be interested in. So hey, if you got an idea, let me know, and it'll just be a wonderful, fun party down there in the comment section. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you guys next time in the workshop. I couldn't walk left or right. Tripod's in the way. And I just don't want to stand here and just fade to black, so that's what I did. I'm fading to black now, aren't I?